Hello everyone, it's Eero here. In this video I want to share a training method that I use a lot myself. It's something that has helped me a lot to basically progress in my training. And this is simply a slow tempo training. What slowing down in exercises does, you need to use a better control when you do the exercises. You cannot cheat in any portion of the repetition. So I want to repeat once again that cheating exercises are not something that's wrong, but they're very, very different and they will produce very different type of results. And usually people tend to do exercises really in a very fast pace. And that's why we want to now focus on very slow execution. When you slow down the exercise, you will make sure that all the muscles that partake in a certain exercise are going to be better activated, because you're not using any speed which does skip certain parts of the exercises. So there's no bouncing or exploding up. This is why slowing down also, it kind of reveals a lot of weakness. If you have weakness in some areas, you will notice it very quickly. And this is usually when you do the repetitions lower, so there becomes a part where, for example, you start to shake, or you almost lose the control. So those are the kind of phases in the repetitions that you especially don't want to skip, because you have been skipping them for a very long time, so now you don't have the control in those. Slowing down will also make many basic exercises much more challenging and harder. And for example, a basic push-up is considered quite easy exercise, but it's a very high level exercise, and it can produce amazing results, but you need to do it really well, not just try to rush through it and get all the repetitions. I personally, when I use this slowing down in push-ups, I get a much better, for example, use of my chest muscles, which were not very well developed. Same kind of example is the pull-up. Really sort of weak back activation with myself, slowing down especially on the eccentric part, and just amazingly better activation of the muscles that I want to target. So I'm gonna walk you through now 4 exercises that we're gonna use a bit different type of tempo in each one of those. So here we go. We start with a set of slow tempo push-ups. So the way I do this is I count 3 seconds when I lower, and I count 3 seconds when I come up. I don't really keep pauses between the eccentric and the concentric. I just continue as soon as I go all the way down, I start to press myself up. So counting the seconds in your head isn't completely accurate, but at least in my experience that is completely enough. This is the second set of the push-ups, and in this one I change the tempo in each repetition. I start by counting 5 seconds for both eccentric and concentric, and after that I decrease the time with 1 second every repetition until I hit 0 seconds. So basically in that repetitions I just do it as fast as I can. But after that I don't stop. Instead I start from 1 second and again, and now I build back 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and finally 5 seconds, and that's when the set is over. So when you train tempo, you can in the same basically set, you can change the tempo with each repetition as well. So next we're going to do chin-ups with slow eccentric. So in this case I try to pull myself up like fast, but then in the lowering I count 5 seconds. So the slow eccentrics in chin-ups and also pull-ups and many other pulling exercises really help me to better activate my lats, but also the trapezius muscle. Since I think I used to just try to do always so many repetitions, and when the lowering came I just basically of course drop myself down, because that way it doesn't take too much strength and you can do more repetitions. But in this, the idea is to really activate and use the muscles the best way you can. But obviously also your arms, biceps, forearms, abdominals even can get a lot more work when you do this slowly. So 5 seconds lowering, and I do 5 repetitions per set, and that's pretty much enough. So now we do the overhead press with slow tempo. So in this one I actually noticed that I don't have too much count seconds in the concentric. The 40 kilo was quite a lot of weight, so I basically just press it up slowly but without really counting any seconds. But in the lowering I try to count about 4 seconds. Practicing overhead press this way slowly, I think it's a very safe way to do it. I know some people have concerns about the shoulder health, for example, when pressing overhead, and people just generally have troubles raising their arms overhead. And this is of course just because if you don't do it, you lose it. So you need to practice it, and it's better to practice with control without jerking there. And the whole thing is that when you use the tempo, basically every single muscle here, the shoulders, your upper back, triceps, everything will get just more work done, and you will develop very solid strength and size, most likely to your shoulder, even upper back area. Usually overhead press is considered really good for building the shoulders, but I have to say it's also probably one of the best exercises for training the triceps as well. The last exercise is the bent over row. So once again, it's quite fast concentric repetition, but then the lowering, the eccentric, I will do slowly. So in this time I keep like a bit higher angle in the body, so it's about like 45 degrees. I sometimes do this because I find that my trapezius get a bit better training when I keep this higher angle. So I just change between different angles every now and then to just emphasize different areas. The tempo is many times what really brings the control, the strength and the quality into your repetitions. So I really hope that you understood that it's one of the most important techniques, and it also helps with the mind-muscle connection. And just overall, if you don't see results in some exercises, try to slow down and see what happens. Alright, that's it. I'll see you soon. Take care.